You sore and tired before you even make it to the gym?
That's usually why I don't go.
Yeah.
So fitness coach Heather Doughty is here for Wednesday's workout with more on the importance of stretching before and after the workout. Heather, this is important.
Yes. Oh, yes, very much.
Why is it important?
Well, first of all, you don't want to injure anything. Helps prevent injury. Also elongates muscles, so you improve your flexibility and that kind of thing. But I think the important part is knowing that you need to warm up and then stretch, work out, and then cool down and then stretch again.
So that's going to add probably another 30 minutes to my workout.
Well, probably 10 or 15.
Okay.
That's what I say.
Do you do the same stretches before the workout that you would do after the workout?
Well, actually, they're a little bit different. I'm glad you asked that, because you're going to do, one is a ballistic stretch or a dynamic stretch. So it's kind of like if you were to see a boxer about to go into a ring. You know, you see them jumping around and they're moving their arms around, kicking their legs out. Maybe a basketball player or something like that.
Sure.
Getting ready to go on the court. The other kind that you do after your workout is going to be a static stretch. So something it's controlled, it's static, it stays in one place, and that's when you're elongating that muscle and improving the flexibility.
And does that also do something for the tone and the way that it looks too?
Yeah, absolutely. When it starts to heal back, because basically when you're working out, if you're lifting weights, strength training mostly, you're tearing the muscle. You're actually ripping the muscle apart. Sounds worse than what it really is. But the goal is to do that so that when it heals, it gets tighter and it starts to burn more fat around where the areas are, okay? So you want to get that little tear, and that's where that soreness comes from. I always tell people if you do the same thing over and over and over again, you'll lose that soreness because the body adapts. The muscle already gets to where it's going to go. So you either have to lift heavier or change the movement, right?
To get more sore?
You want to be sore. Sore means you're making progress, right?
But not crippled.
Not crippled, no.
Right.
Just that muscle soreness. You know, when you've lifted the day before and you get the next morning, you're like, oh, hey, yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
So stretching and cooling down and warming up will help to eliminate those things, but you want to make sure you still have a little bit so you know you're making some progress.
And how long is it typically good to be sore? Because I know there are some days where I was like, okay, this is going on 3 days now.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Sometimes 3 days is a little bit longer. Maybe you need to check, make sure you're getting all the vitamins and nutrients that you need in your diet, that kind of thing.
Maybe.
Right? There's also you know, things you can take after your workout, like potassium. You want to make sure you're maybe a recovery formula. There's all kinds of supplements you can take for recovering muscles and joints and that kind of thing too.
So we're going to do a couple of stretches.
Yeah, I'll show you a ballistic stretch and then a static stretch. So you know, one before and one after. Okay.
This is the before.
Yeah, ballistic. So you do your warm up. Maybe you walk on the treadmill or on the elliptical, or maybe jumping jacks, run in place, that kind of thing. So you're just going to kind of shake the arms out. You know, maybe kick the legs out and kind of jump around a little bit. If you're just getting, hold your microphone.
Right. That's a good exercise too. Little neck.
Yeah, a little neck, yeah. So in these ballistic ones, you're going to kind of bounce a little bit. So, you know, you'll see that stretch and you'll bounce a little bit.
I'm hearing my back pop, which probably is not a good sign.
Well, we didn't warm up exactly.
Right.
So yeah, there's a little bounce with it. Now, a static one is going to be more of like a holding pattern. So if you're going to stretch that side out, maybe you've done some abs, you've stretched those obliques and all that. So you're just going to hold it there.
How long should you hold that?
You know, a couple of breaths, 3, 4, 5 breaths, just whatever feels comfortable for you. But you want to get into the move and then hold it. So that's more of this is a post-workout type of stretching.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there's a difference. You want to make sure that cool down is important too. You want to get the heart rate back down and make sure you're breathing comfortably. You know, you don't want to bend over, go forward if your heart rate's still high.
Right, you're going to get dizzy.
Right. So you mentioned a couple breaths on the hold.
Yeah.
But okay, so we've warmed up for 5 minutes. How long do we stretch before we start our workout?
It just depends on what muscle group you're working. If you're doing legs, you want to spend a little more time because they're bigger muscles. So maybe 2 or 3 minutes, the same type of thing, 3, 4, 5 breaths during it. It's a movable stretch rather than a holding stretch pattern.
And when you feel something that's tight, if you're going to come across, if I was doing this and I already knew I've got a problem here, I've got something going on down here, do you proceed? Do you go slowly? Do you stop and avoid it?
I would go slower, and I always say listen to your body. If it hurts, stop. If it's just sore, maybe because you worked it 48 hours before, lighten the weight up a little bit, don't do as many reps, but always listen to your body. Only you know what's best for your body.
Good advice.
Smart. Yeah, and are these yoga-based, or are there other yoga-based stretching?
There can be, yeah. I do like a yoga, that vinyasa that we went over 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I do that 3 times through before every workout. So it's a warm-up and a stretch all in one. So I run through it it takes me about 4 minutes maybe to do the whole thing. Gets the blood flowing to all the major muscles and starts to stretch everything out for me so that I'm ready to go no matter what body part I'm working.
So it doesn't take long, but it's very important to make sure you do it. it.
Very important, yeah.
All right, Heather, lots of great tips.
Yeah.
Maybe next week when you're back, we can have some viewer submitted good questions.
That'd be
and maybe
amazing.
You could take some questions.
That sounds
If
great.
you would like more info on Wednesday's workout, you can visit us at CILiving.tv.